Hi everybody, Ricky Cool here with another Mississippi saxophone video, and today we're going to be looking at a solo played by the great tenor sax player Clifford Scott, who had a long and distinguished career playing with a number of great rhythm and blues artists, including in the 1950s the wonderful Dill Dogged, who had one of the biggest instrumental hits in the whole of rhythm and blues history, Honky Tonk, and it's Clifford Scott who takes the great tenor sax solo on that famous recording. I'm going to look at another recording of Dill Dogged's called Big Boy. It's in A flat, so to play with the track you need a D flat harmonica, which I know isn't one that people necessarily will have in their armoury. But I'm going to transfer the licks to an A harmonica. We're playing in second position so that we can use some backing tracks in the key of E to see how the licks adapt for the harmonica. We're going to start by looking at the head arrangement of Big Boy, because that's very harmonica friendly and it's not that difficult to play. So let's have a listen. Okay, so it starts on the one draw, and you've got to be able to hit that two draw full step bend straight away accurately. Now when it moves to the four chord, we're starting on two draw, and you've got to be able to isolate a three draw full step bend and a three draw half step bend. Like that. Then we're back to the one chord, and on the five chord I think a 1/4 draw octave works very well. There we are. So let's see how that translates now to an A harmonica on the one chord, on the four chord. So I've chosen a couple of MCCD sessions backing tracks, but they're slightly different. The first one is an acoustic blues in E. So let's have a listen and let's just play that head arrangement with this backing track just to get a feel. So you can see I've sort of changed the licks slightly just to suit the groove of the track, rather than play it exactly as Clifford Scott plays it on Big Boy. The other backing track that I'm using for this video is a Rumba. Okay, so again, you know, I'm not going to play the riff exactly the way Clifford Scott plays it. I want to adapt it to the feel of the track, and that's obviously very important. And maybe throwing in a few extra notes like I did there. Clifford Scott takes a 24-bar solo in Big Boy. I'm going to look at the first 12 bars. Let's have a listen to it first of all. I mean, it's such a swinging track, this is. And I love the way that he brings the solo in by echoing the head arrangement. Let's look at the first 4 bars of that solo. You've got to start off with, that's what I'm calling the first lick. Now, at the tempo of that particular track, it's a bit difficult fitting all of those notes in. Slower tempo, not too bad. You could take some of those notes out and just play it like that. Moving on, over the next 2 bars, Clifford Scott plays this. I've got 2 alternative ways of looking at this. You can knock out those first 3 notes. And then if you do that, you can take it down an octave. So you could play it in either register. If you're playing slower, you can use octaves. Lick 1. I'm finishing on a chord. If I use that octaves idea for the second lick, it's also going to involve a 2/5 draw split. Moving on to the next 4 bars of the solo. I've broken this down into 2 licks. To play the first lick in the register that Clifford Scott is in would involve the use of overblows. So I've taken it down an octave and I'm playing it like this. And if you slow it down, you can start throwing in a little bit of harmonica dirt, some rhythmic out breaths and that sort of thing. The next lick, I'm going to take it into the same register as Clifford Scott again. Now again, if you slow it down like that, you can start messing with it, particularly if you're using the tongue block embouchure. You can let some dirty notes creep in, or you could use some octaves. And now the final part of Clifford Scott's first 12-bar solo. Such a great rundown. And it's all notes from the minor pentatonic scale. So that's the first 12 bars of his solo, broken down into licks. So I'm now going to take those licks and play them on my A harmonica, so I'm playing them in the key of E. And what I'll do first of all is just play through that first 12 bars of Clifford Scott's solo against the acoustic backing track. I'm going to finish off by playing with the blues rumba backing track and taking some ideas from Clifford Scott's solo and maybe utilising it with the head arrangement from Big Boy as well.